I went and got diagnosed earlier this year, so now I know.
Holly Madison is opening up about her recent autism diagnosis. On the December 8th episode of the Talking to Death podcast, the Girls Next Door alum shared that her and her family had long suspected that she might have some type of neurological disorder.
I just got diagnosed. I have been suspicious of it for a while because my mom told me that she was always suspicious that that was a thing. She said I was...
Why'd she feel that way?
Well, she said the first thing she noticed was that it would zone out a lot as a kid. And people, and I'm the oldest, so I was her first. And people would always ask her, what is wrong with her? What is she doing? And my mom would just be like, she's thinking.
She just does this.
Yeah, I would completely zone out. And I always kind of had trouble socially, not recognizing social cues, not picking up on things the same way other people did.
The Down the Rabbit Hole author speaks about how she finally got diagnosed earlier this year, but that it took a while since she ignored the symptoms related to the developmental disorder for decades.
But I just made excuses for it. I thought it was because I grew up in Alaska and then around middle school age moved to Oregon, and I thought, well, that was just a big social change. So I'm just very introverted. Like, that's kind of always how I wrote it off. But I went and got diagnosed earlier this year, so now I know.
Holly says she wants to share this part of herself that she now understands so that other people can understand her, reflecting on the fact that she often went through life being unliked because of behavior she couldn't explain.
But I like knowing, I like understanding myself better, and I like being able to tell other people too, because I feel like throughout my life people have not really liked me or have been like rubbed the wrong way or like been
Why
offended.
or how?
They think I'm like stuck up or snobby or think I'm better than everybody else or have my nose in the air, and it's like, no, I'm just
Is that
not.
just because you're a Playboy model, or is it because you're saying or doing something that makes them feel that way?
I think because I'm more quiet.
Okay.
I've only recently learned to make eye contact. I'm often off in my own thoughts, things like that. So people take that
as some sort
offensive.
of flippant.
They're like, oh, damn, you're not super interested in me. You.
Right.
like I'm just not on the same social wavelength as other people,
Right.
but don't
Right.
take it personally. So I like being able to explain that. I also don't really have a gauge for when other people are going to be done speaking, so I tend to interrupt a lot, which pisses people off.
And while the 43-year-old understands that the diagnosis could be more severe, she explains that learning she has this disorder gives her insight into how to better manage social situations.
And obviously, like, I'm highly functioning. Like, it's not as extreme as it is for other people. So I'm not like the spokesperson for everybody. They call it a spectrum for the reason. It's really helpful because I notice things I'm not doing. Like, I was never making eye contact before at all. So now I know.
Okay.
And it's funny because you would hear that throughout your life. Like, you hear these social skill things like always have a firm handshake, always make eye contact, but it never really clicked. And I never did make eye contact. I would always kind of stare at other things. I still kind of do. Sometimes I make myself make eye contact. But I think it's just helpful knowing, or I can apologize to people if I interrupt or talk over them and tell them why. And I just think it helps a lot, and it helps other people be more understanding, and also helps other people like not take the way I behave personally, which is just better all around, I think.